Everybody, good evening. My name is Brittany Fan. This is my presentation on Ruth Ann Rutherfeld. She is currently actively participating in the field of BCBA and currently teaching. So here are some of her credentials. She has a BA in psychology from Purdue University, a master's and PhD from Nevada University. She is BCBA certified and currently teaching at Southern Illinois University and affiliated with their Behavior Analysis and Therapy program at the university. Her field of study includes humans, and it includes the stimulus class, verbal behavior. Participants in her study are people with developmental disabilities, and educational settings and classroom settings, which include people with disabilities and students that have graduate and undergrad classes. She has collaborated with numerous people on books. One of the books that she did was and collaborated and co-edited was Applied Behavior Analysis of Language and Cognition with Mitch Fry, Jonathan Tarbucks, and Linda Hayes. She has also co-edited another textbook called Derived Rational Responding Applications for Learners with Autism and Other Developmental Disabilities, A Progression Guide to Change by Yvonne Barn Holmes. So she is actively involved and has won numerous awards. She's actively involved in a lot of journals. She's on the editorial board of Journal of Behavior Analysis, the Analysis of Verbal Behavior, International Journal of Psychology and Psychological Theory, European Journal of Behavior Analysis. She has also co-founded and was past president of the Mid-American Association of Behavior Analysis, been awarded numerous awards, which include Rehabilitation Institute Teacher of the Year. In 2016, she won Teacher of the Year for Health and Human Services. In 2010, she won Researcher of the Year award for the College of Educational and Human Services. So some of the articles that I found and that were extremely interesting were about people with disabilities, which is one of the topics she studied. One of the first articles that I found was the role of overt and covert rules in establishing daily living skills for adults with mild developmental disabilities. So this was an article with people with mild disabilities, and what they did was they learned how to do laundry. So they were given a room that was equipped with a variety of different tools for doing laundry, and their skill of doing laundry met their skill set. And if they achieved mastering that skill, they actually got to do a job interview. So it was a combination study. It was a study of two different skills. One, laundry, and the other being able to interview, which are skills that people need to develop. So that's a great influence on today's society and how she has influenced people with that study. Another study that she did was called Creating an Activity Schedule Using PowerPoints. So this was a study of how you use PowerPoints in the classroom and how you use technology in the classroom. So what they did was they developed a step-by-step program, and it helped students who were struggling in the class use the software in order to overcome that struggle. Another article that she did that I found extremely interesting was evaluating stress levels of parents with disabilities. So this was an interesting article because it didn't go over the people with disabilities themselves specifically, but their support system, their parents. It discussed ways and stressors to relieve stress and how they developed different techniques to working with people with disabilities, which could be frustrating. And they have to have healthy ways to relieve stress. So Dr. Rutherfeld has done a lot of different things for people with disabilities. She has included activities of their daily living, their support system, how to manage working with them. She's just a great support for people with disabilities and students in a classroom. So another article that I found interesting was called Establishing Derived Requesting Skills in Adults with Severe Disability. So this was a picture exchange program that she did. So what she did was they were given a word, they gave the picture. If they got the picture right, they got a reward or a reinforcement. The reinforcement was candy. I would have loved to participate in this study. Another article that I found interesting was another chain article. This had to do with actually cooking a smoothie. So this was a 22-step chain, and what they did was they did step-by-step skills to creating a smoothie. This is another skill that people with disabilities and what they would have to use. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. Here are some questions that I would ask Ruth Ann Rutherfeld if I was able to interview her. How did you determine the population that you used for your studies? Are there any current researchers who influenced your studies, and how is that illustrated in your paper? Who was your role model that got you interested in the field of applied behavior analysis? What is one subject that you currently have a study on and would modify it to include a different population? Which was the hardest population to work with? And would there be anything different that you would change about a previous study you have completed? So here are my references on Ruth Ann Rutherfeld. I believe that she is currently influencing the field of applied behavior analysis and continues to do it through her teaching. She also has done numerous conferences, over 200 that I have found, and collaborated on numerous books, as well as done PowerPoints on people with disabilities. I actually found one at a recent conference that she did that I thought was very interesting. So I believe she's a great influence and should continue to influence the field of applied behavior analysis, and she does. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope you learned some about her. I know I did. Thank you and have a good day, everybody.